Special edition of my one of one Emery stories here today. It's Boston Flannery, the UNC commit, senior Brunswick school star. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir. I'm proud to be here.
Yeah, happy to have you talk a little bit of everything here.
Oh, yeah.
But let's start off. Can see kind of the very top of that Emery glove. We've seen
Yeah.
that blue beauty a number of times.
Mhm.
UNC colors, right? We're firing with that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And I honestly love it because it has the Carolina blue and then the kind of like the dark blue. So it's literally like a whole UNC theme, both colors. And the leather is just amazing, super comfortable glove. And I really like this kind of like strap over here. Could tighten the glove so much easier than a bunch of regular gloves. So, just a deal breaker, this one right here.
Now tell me, there's the close back, right? That's a becoming something that didn't exist back in my glove using days. But you see it more and more on pitchers. Was that an adjustment for you? And if so,
Definitely.
obviously you've made the adjustment pretty good too.
Yeah, so it definitely was. I was usually a finger out guy, but nowadays you're seeing in the pros that and in college and pros that the athletes, they have to cover up their pointer finger with another hole on the glove. So this makes so much more sense because you don't have to put your finger out to put it back in somewhere else. No, you could literally just throw it in right here and you have enough space in here where it feels like it could still feel like it could be out, but can't see anything. And it just honestly makes the glove more intimidating, to be honest.
Yeah. Any like little bit of mystery, right? It seems to make things, anything that creates more doubt in the pitcher's mind, or not the pitcher's mind, in the hitter's mind.
100%.
What's this year like for you? It's your last year of high school, and then coming from there, we either have, draft day possibilities or P5 ACC possibilities. What's it like going through this last year of high school?
Oh, man. I mean, honestly, it's such a blessing that I'm able to be in this spot, but it's also very, I wouldn't say nerve-wracking. It's just it's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of talking, there's a lot of voices, and I've literally just taught myself how to calm all that stuff down and just go out there and train and play. So honestly, not nervous. I'm super excited and I'm just super blessed.
How did you learn that over the years, right? Because, eighth or ninth graders on the national scene, they don't have that poise necessarily to tune it out.
Mhm.
And you see the people, obviously, you see the scouts, you see the people in attendance, but how did you go through the process of, being able to just focus on what you needed to?
So most of it comes from experience. I went through many ups and downs in my career so far. Ranging from injuries, ranging from, when I was 14, I got benched because my coach didn't think that I was good enough to be able to play. And that kind of stuff just stuck with me. And it got to the point where I said, I'm not going to let anything ever get in the way like that again. I'm going to be so good that I would have to do something crazy for them to take me out of the game. I would just want it to be that guy. And just learning to block everything out, it's something that you're going to have to do as either a college athlete or professional baseball player, because there's people think, hey, like, I don't feel comfortable. There's people like screaming at me from the dugout, but like, what are you going to do when there's 40,000 people in a stadium screaming at you and you're at a rival stadium? It's just a bunch of stuff like that where people have to really, really sit down and think about. And that's one thing that I really did. And I just trained myself, hey, like, don't let anything get inside your head, and that's what separates the top 1% of athletes from, the big leagues, whether it's like minor league ball or college, but that's what is the separating factors. Because there's a lot of guys that can go out there and just dominate, but then there's not that guy that says, hey, give me the ball in the bottom of the ninth with bases loaded and we'll get out of the jam. So that's the 1% that really separates. But I taught myself how to do that, and I feel very, very strong about it.
Yeah, you got to be to get to play it at whatever level you're going to be playing at from here, because it's, everybody is a dominant player at that point, right? There's got to be something that separates you.
100%.
So, we've seen you with, and we talked about this ahead of time, but hair been some different colors, a little bit of flash. But you've talked about, I wouldn't say subdued. I don't see Boston Flannery ever going to be subdued, but definitely kind of like a business like dominant, approach mentally now, right?
100%. Like last year I had neon green cleats, my hair was blonde, and I would go out there, I would do my thing. But I feel like it's just really, really intimidating when the kid with, those solid colors and just goes out there and just dominates. And that's really something that I really want to do, because I also don't want people to think about me, about my hair or my different colored cleats or something. Like, I'm still going to do that, but that's not what I want to be known for. I want people to go like, oh, that's Boston. Like, he's nasty,
Right.
it's not, oh, that's Boston. He's the kid from social media or something like that. Like, no, that's not what I want. So I'm calming it down a little bit, and I'm going to make sure that people know me for the right reasons.
How important is it for you to be a role model at this
Very,
point?
very important. I like to be the dude that somebody has a question or somebody wants to emulate their game after. I want it to be me. And it's just something that has always stuck with me. And, I always love being able to be the guy who, when a group of kids sees me, they're like, oh my God, it's Boston Flaherty. And I would go up to them first and be like, hey, how you guys doing? Because I know that would literally just make their day. And always think back to when I was younger, and if I saw somebody that I looked up to, and if they would have done that, then I would have been like, wow, like I really want to be, or I want to emulate this person so bad. So that's what I want to give off.
Yeah. Baseball, if you're at a certain level, it gives you a really cool platform to impact people. Feel like that's maybe something you might have realized at a younger age, but really it's starting to come into focus now that that's a power that you're going to have. How are you going to use that?
Honestly, I'm just going to use it to be my best person. One thing that I was really adamant on is I want to start hosting, like clinics and baseball camps around my hometown. Kind of want to be that hometown hero type of vibe. But I just want to give back to my community the best way that I can. Growing up in my little league, I want to be able to go back there and say, hey, like, I'm going to redo these fields, or I'm going to do something like this. Like, I want to be that guy who does that for my community. And just being able to take pictures with these kids or sign their baseballs or their hats or anything for them. Like, I got a taste of that. Me and Max Clark were on the same summer team. So after every game, there were hundreds of kids waiting outside the dugout asking for all these types of stuff. And without a doubt in our minds, we literally both just went out there and, even if it was for an extra 2 hours after the game, sweaty and tired, that's what we did, because that's what we want to be not known for, but that's what we truly feel.
Really need to have that sort of impact together and really make a difference, I'm sure.
100%, 100%. And it's awesome that we got to be able to have that experience to play with each other, and not even just with the Indiana Bulls. Like, we were pretty much at all the same events too. You name it, Airy Code, East Coast Pro, PDP. We were all there together, and it was just such an awesome experience, because all the top players in the country were there, and we were just able to converse with one another and learn and feed and, just get to know each other, because, in the next couple of years, we're all going to be at that level and be with each other again. So, it's awesome. Such a great experience.
Yep. We'll finish with this. Goals for this year.
Yeah. So I don't really like to set goals, just because when you reach it, you're like, what's next? So
Sure.
there's just a couple things that I'm saying, hey, like, I'm gonna do this season, and then I'm just gonna do something else. I don't want to set it as a goal, but I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna hit 98 this season on the mound. That's something that I'm definitely gonna do. And something that I want to do is I want to win our FAA championship, and I want to go undefeated, and I want to win Gatorade Player of the Year. That's a really big thing, and I've wanted that for a couple of years, and I feel like this year I have a chance, because I'm hitting too. So I'm gonna hit a cool 4 or 500, and I like, it's just gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, but I'm just gonna play my normal game, but that's something I want to do. Connecticut Gatorade Player of the Year.
So it's not goal so much as what you've identified as the next step in what your process has to be, and then it's just kind of part of a bigger thing.
Exactly.
Austin, thank you.
100%.
Appreciate it, and look forward to staying in touch and following this year.
100%. Thank you for having me.